What's up everyone? Yeah, this is your boy MTH. So I'm back with another tutorial buffet. If you are new to this YouTube channel, please like and subscribe. Okay guys, I'm creating an HTML CSS crash course. So please stay tuned, and then I'm not sure how long it will be until I've done with this, but I'm hoping maybe 1 hour or 2 hours maximum. So yeah guys, sorry about the background noises. So yeah guys, let's just get started. So here I've got a working folder project here. So I'm gonna upload this to GitHub, and then just check on the description, you'll get the links if you want to maybe make a reference. So later today I'm just gonna make notes for all of these so that you can maybe like understand in fact like what's going on. So I'm just gonna make a simple boilerplate HTML. The extensions you're gonna need if you are using Visual Studio Code, it's called Live Server, so that you can see your changes live. It's called Live Server. And then the other ones that I'm using for snippet, just say HTML snippet, so that you can do that the snippet or shortcode. So yeah guys, let's just get started. So let me just remove all of these parts because it's gonna be confusing on your side. So yeah, we're gonna leave the title alone, and then yeah, so we're gonna get started on the introduction. And HTML is a more of like a programming language built to for websites. So if you want to build websites, you need that language. The first element that is there on top, which is the doc type HTML, it's telling us like which version we are using, and it's giving details for the such as Chrome or Opera Min, so it depends on which one you are using. And then this attribute is whereby we are now working with HTML. We are telling the browser that we are working with the English as a language. So our document must be strictly English. So yeah guys, so in HTML we've got maybe two important sections that we need to remember. The first one is the head, and then the second one is the body, and then the closing tag. So I'm gonna come back to this one. So just to simplify things, I'm gonna remove this so that you don't get to be confused, because it's a little bit confusing. Because this I'll be able to explain it later on a later stage. Just focus here on our body here where there's space. So just focus there. So let me just make a comment so that you can be able to see what like where we are focusing for our tutorial. We'll come back to the head and body so that we can get in terms of like what we are doing, and then the requirements of a head. So yeah guys, that's the HTML introduction. So basically each and every website that we see online there was written using HTML. So an example of an HTML, I'll just make a p tag, and then I'll say hello user. So if we can save that and then go back to the browser. Okay, so I haven't started the live extension, so all you have to do is just click go live, or just left click and then open with live server. So and then it will pop up the on your browser. So it's still loading. We're gonna wait for it. Okay, so it's opening Opera Min. I don't know why, because my default was Chrome. Yeah, but anyway, we can continue. It's fine. But just that the Chrome, it's a little bit slower. I think I'll have to go to the settings. All settings, and then we're gonna change our default browser for opening web pages. So sorry about that, I'll just cut out this video, don't worry. go to apps. Okay, I'm having second thoughts about cutting out this, because maybe some of y'all will need something like this. Maybe don't want to work with Opera Mint just like me. You know, default apps, and then scroll down until you see web browser, and then just click on Chrome, and then you'll be set up, and then you are done. So yeah guys, if you're having the same issue as me, I'm gonna quit Opera Mint and then go back to Visual Studio Code. We need to restart our server so that we can see the updated. Okay, so as you can see guys, Chrome is it's quicker than Opera Mint. So guys, this is the example that I wanted to show you. So I've made a paragraph saying hello user, and then all I had to do was to write this simple one line code. So yeah guys, let's just continue. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what are HTML elements. Okay, so let me just wrap this. So HTML elements are sort of like, you know, when you are typing a document using maybe Microsoft Word or Docs or something like that, when you are creating maybe a PDF, when you are typing, and then you want some headings to be larger than the other ones. So that's what we also, it's similar to that one when you are working with elements. So for you to write something on the browser, you need an element. So an element is just an opening tag, and sorry about that, it's just an opening elbow bracket, and then you say P, and then you close, and then you open another bracket, and then you write a slash, backslash, and then you write a P, and then you close the elbow bracket. So that is what an element is actually. So an element is just a piece of code that wraps up our content. So I could put it like that. An element consists of an opening tag and a closing tag. So right here we've got an opening tag, and then below we've got a closing tag. So when somebody says what is the text content of that paragraph tag, the text content is whatever that gets to be rendered on the browser. So if I go to the browser now, you'll see nothing, like it's empty, because you know why? We haven't set the text content for that paragraph element. As you can see, I'm calling it as an element. So if you wanted to call individually, this is an opening tag, this is a closing tag, and again this is the text content. So this is the text content. All in all, these are called elements, excluding the text content, but this is an element, right? So if you go to the browser, you can see that's what gets to be rendered to the user. It's the text content, right? So it's different to just typing a PDF document, because there you just write your alphabets, but here you'll have to specify the element that you want to use, and you'll have to give it a text content. So let me just make an example, another second example. So I'm gonna have an H1, which is heading 1 element tag, and then a heading 2, heading 1 closing tag. So always guys, how do you recognize if something is a closing tag? It must have a backslash at the start of the tag. So just to put the text content there, so I'm just gonna say content. So that is what we use. So if I go to the browser, you see this text is smaller than the other one, and then this one is larger, because you know why? It's called a header element, and then it's the first one, which means it has H1. So guys, we're gonna come back to different types of heading. So yeah, let's just continue guys. I'm not sure if you are getting me, but no problem guys. Okay, so let's go to attribute. Attribute are what we find, or what we can include on our opening text. Before I started, I said, right, we've got an opening tag and a closing tag, and what? A text content. And then attributes are always found on an opening tag. So if I can just show you an example, I'll just say space and then add class. So class, and then is equals to double quote. So these are what qualify as what as attribute. There are many ones such as ID. We'll see them along when we code, guys. So yeah, or style. So these are all the attributes that we have, guys. So you don't need to cram any because we will go through them while we are continuing with our course. Just to show you, a class does not get to be rendered because it's what we call HTML. So it does not get to be rendered. So I'm just gonna say hey, and then if you go to the browser, we still see hello user. So it's still the same thing. So guys, attributes are what are found. You can't place an attribute on a closing tag, as you can see. Like there's no suggestion or anything. Everything will just break, and then your code will be having bugs. Okay, so let's just get started on showing you different types of headings, right? I'm gonna show you headings. So I've got heading 1, and then heading 2, and then heading 3, and then heading 4, and then heading 5, and then heading 6, and then heading 7. Sorry about that. Okay, so 7 is not there. So let me just make a space. I'm gonna ask a quick question. So let's see if you can answer and get it correct. So we are testing out which people are good listeners. Okay, so I need somebody who's gonna tell me why we are not seeing anything on the browser. So I'm just gonna pause for 1 minute, and then yeah, guys. So let me just show you the code if maybe didn't see it clearly. So here's the code. Tell me why we can't see anything from the browser. Okay, so we don't see anything because we don't have any text content. These are all HTML codes, yes, but we are lacking a text content. As you can see, we've got an opening H1 tag, and then an opening H2 tag, and then also an opening H2 tag, and then a closing H2 tag. Sorry guys, this is a closing H1 tag. So what we are missing is what we call text content. And then if I could say heading 1, right, and then I'm gonna write heading 2, and then let's just go to the browser, and guess what? Boom, we've got heading 1 and then heading 2. Okay, so can somebody guess how heading 3 is? Heading 3 going to be bigger than heading 2, or is it going to be bigger than heading 1, or is it going to be smaller than heading 1? So let's just find out. It's heading 3, right? Sorry about that. It's 3. Let me just copy this so that I don't waste your time and data, because we've got little time left. I'm looking at the watch, and then it seems like we are running out of time. And then it's heading 5, and then heading 6. So if you go to the browser, as you can see, from heading 1 to heading 2, it keeps on decreasing the size. Keeps on decreasing because that was what we call headings. Sometimes you might want to have a bigger font or bigger heading than the other. So that is how you do it on HTML. So let's just go back to the code. Okay, so we are on paragraphs. So paragraphs, we use paragraphs to write content, right? Mostly we write like a paragraph, sort of like a paragraph that has 6 lines or something like that. It's up to you. And then how we write a paragraph, we've got an opening tag and a closing tag, right? And then what you are missing right now is in fact a, so let me just grab dummy code. let me just grab some few text. So I want 6. Okay, so it's still loading. It's still loading. So let's just wait for it. Let's go back to our code. Okay, sorry about that. I thought it copied. So yeah, guys. So it's still generating our text. So here's our text. So it's taking longer to load. Okay, so I think now it did copy. Okay, so that's great. As you can see, guys, like it's a lot of content right here. So if we go to the browser and then view that, as you can see, it's an equal text that is a paragraph, but this is not a paragraph, guys. So let's try to format our paragraph. So I'm gonna come here and then do like this. So I'm gonna just say make a closing tag there. So I'm gonna just close that, and then I'm gonna open an opening tag. Right, and then I'm gonna also come here and then offer our closing tag. Right, and then again also I'm gonna have an opening tag here so that you can have different types of, yes, guys. And then you can see we've got 3 paragraphs now, and then as you can see everything is formatted to accordingly. So yeah, guys, this is how we work with paragraphs. Yeah, guys, this is how we make paragraphs. And then let's just go back to let me just close this and also this. Let's just go back to our okay, I think I need to make let me just comment it out so that you guys can also find it when you want to practice like with it, so that yes, this is how we comment out code. And then the next things, it's HTML styles. Okay, so here we are styling the HTML content, because you saw how it was not clean before. So before I continue, I just want to write the other content that I deleted here. So it was a paragraph tag, and then it was hello user. Yeah, it was hello user. And then the other one was what was the headings, right? So it was h1. Okay, let me just type it outside of the comment. It was h1, and then it said heading 1, right? And then the other one was I'm gonna upload this on GitHub so that you can maybe find your own copy, and then just copy and do some changes with it. It's 2. Okay, sorry about that. It's 3. It's 4. It's 5, and then 6, right? And then you're gonna come back here and then change this to 2, and then change this to 3, and then change this to 4, and then again 5, and then 6, right? Yes. So yeah, I'm done with I know there are some things that I left out, but don't worry about it. So yeah, guys. Okay, so now let me just do like this. Now we are styling our content, right? Styling. We are styling now. So I told you about attributes before, right? I told you about attribute in terms of how we can have an attribute on an element, right? And then now I'm gonna use the combination of the two, right? I'm gonna have a h1, and then maybe let's just say it's h1, right? And then I'm gonna call this a home. Let's just say I'm on a home page, right? And then I'm gonna have a paragraph, and then this paragraph should include all of this information, right? And then if you go to the browser, as you can see, it's home, and then that's it. And then let's just style this. We're gonna style this as an attribute. So we just make a space on an opening tag, and then we say style. So this is a style attribute to style the element that we are on. So this style will only affect the h1 that we are on right now. So let's just change our color. Our color, I'm gonna say blue. So how we style it, this is how we style it. We say style is equal to, and then double quotes or single quotes, it's up to you. And then we say color, and then a column, and then we write the color that we want. So for me, I said blue, and then a semicolon, and then closing double quotes. So if you can go to the browser, as you can see, this changed. Now it's no longer black, it's blue. So if we also want to change this color, we can do the same thing, but on that specific element. So if I can come back here and then just say style here, and then equals to, and then double quotes, and then I say color, and then a column, and then I say blue, and then I need to add a semicolon. And then if I go to the browser, as you can see, everything changed to blue. So that is how we do styling in HTML, doing styling on the inline. So we are styling things inline. So there is a different way to do this, right? So let's just say you don't want to mess up your code, so that it looks like this, right? So that you want to have something like so let's just say you want to format things so that they look good, cause to tell you the truth, that was messy, and then it was sort of like hard to understand. So we have an HTML element that we can make, right? We just say style, okay, we say like this, and then style, and then we close the bracket. Sorry about that. So as you can see, this thing is doing its own thing, right? So I'm just gonna write it here, right? Style is. So as you can see, it's the same. We've got an opening and then a closing. We've got an opening and a closing. So how do we style things? So I'm just gonna bring it down so that can get a sense of what we are doing right here, right? And then I press on tab, and then now let's just say we want to style again that home color to be something else. So if we go to the browser, as you can see, everything went back to default. So that is the default styling, right? And then let's just say we want to change the h1. So we target elements, right? We target element using the style attribute tag element, right? So let's just say we want the h1. So we just type h1 because it's an h1 element, right? And then we're gonna say color is equals to what? Is equals to blue. We're gonna say is equals to blue. So that is how we style things here, right? So let me just make a copy of this so that I can show you like where attributes are giving us advantages, right? So as you can see, I've styled it to blue, right? So I'm just gonna change this to home one, so that you can see the different types. So let's just refresh, and then okay, so that is not okay. So my fault is here it didn't say H1, right? And then also here, that's why it's not styling. So you need to check your code. So if you go back to the browser, as you can see, it's home, it's blue again, it's blue. So this is bad, unlike before. So let me just wrap this. Unlike before, where we targeted the specific element, and then we did like this, right? Style, and then we said color is equals to what? To blue, right? So it only changes only one color. So these are inline styling. We call that inline styling, right? And then as you can see, this does not change. But when we are using our style element, right, and then we say H1, this thing is selecting all the H1 tags or elements in our document or in our HTML. So as you can see, if I say color and then I say blue, and then I remove this inline styles or attribute styles, I go back to the browser. So as you can see, all of these are styles. So that is the power of the style element, which is also sort of like a CSS. So this is an introduction to CSS. And then if I want to style the paragraph tag, I need to also specify its name and then do the brackets and then say color also is equals to what? Is equals to blue. And then if you go back to the browser, everything changed. So that's how we style. That's another way of styling things. Right? And then if I can show you the third way of styling things, oh okay. Yes, if I can show you the third way of styling things is to actually have a separate file called, you can call it anything, but I'll just call it index.css. So I'm calling it index.css. And then how can you link, okay, let me just copy these two and then paste it here. So now, as you can see, now you are writing each and everything like it's the way it was. Because there, you need a style element, but on the CSS file, you don't need the style element. So if you can go back to the browser, let me just comment this out so that you can guys see in terms of what I'm trying to explain to you. Yes. And then if you guys can see, right, we moved our stylings to here. If you can see, no, our styles will go back to default value, right? Everything will be black and then no blue. You know why? Because we haven't linked the two files together. So we need to link them. We link them via the HTML, right? And then what you can do is you can do it on your head, but I'll just do it here, right? So that you can understand. I'll say link. Okay, let me just manually type it so that you guys can see. I'll say link and then an attribute of, okay, let me just close it. Yes. I'll say link and then rel, and then I'm just gonna say style sheet, right? And then the href is sort of like a link to tell us where is the file that you want us to communicate with. So I'm gonna make use of the dot notation and the slash and then write the name of that file, index.css. If we can go to the browser now, everything is back and it's blue, and then your code it's much more cleaner. If we can just delete this, but I won't delete it. So it will be much more cleaner, and then when you want to do stylings, you do it on a separate file and then you come back. So it's just a matter of being comfortable with one of these or one of these three. So it's up to you. There's no wrong or right way. It's just in terms of what you are comfortable with. So okay, so I've done the CSS introduction, and then I think I did the CSS examples, because this is a CSS file, the index.css, and then okay, so HTML links. So I'm gonna take a break now, sort of like a 5-minute break, and then I'll come back and then we'll do the rest, and then we'll take a break again, and then code some sort of like a portfolio. So yeah, guys, so just pause the video and then just practice on your own. So it's a lot of information that I've just given you, so just process it, and then I'll be back also. So yeah. Okay, guys, I'm back. So let's just continue where we left off. Cause I remember I did these two. So it's time for HTML links, right? Okay, so for HTML links, you can link. Maybe let's just say you've got a button that you want somebody to be redirected to or taken to, so you can have an a tag, and then you can just say I'm just gonna say google.com, right? I'm just gonna do that, and then if I can go to the browser and then just refresh. Okay, the reason why we're not seeing anything is because we don't have our text content right here. So I just say Google. Go to Google. Go to Google, right? And then don't forget I said these are attributes, right? And then this is an href or href. It's up to you how you call it. And then it just accepts a URL. So it's sort of like a URL where you want to take the user to. So yeah, guys. So as you can see, if I want to go to Google, I just click on here. Oh, sorry about that. I need to do the HTTPS thing. So sorry about that. So I'm just gonna say HTTPS and then google.com. So yeah, let me just refresh, go back and then refresh, and then you refresh here, and then if I can click that, it's taking us to google.com. As you can see, it went to a google.com's page. So that is how you link things. So as you can see, that is how you link things. But if you want to maybe so that is how you have links on your website. So we're gonna work with HTML images. So to work with an HTML image, all you need it's very simple. It's very simple, guys. And sorry about the background noise. Sorry about that. So I'm just gonna have an image tag right here. Notice how the image does not have this, the closing tag, right? It does not have a closing tag because we all know why, because we don't have text content on an image, but we have a source. The source is also similar to the href because we're gonna link our image there. So I'm gonna show you two ways in terms of how to link an image, right? So let's just go to Google because Google has everything, right? So I'm just gonna say image. We want a dummy image, any image, it's fine. I don't think this has an image, right? So sorry about that. So it's gonna go to an image, and then let's just open the images. Right, let's just open the images tab. So it's loading slow. Don't know why, but it usually does not do that. So I'm just gonna say open image on a new tab, and then it's gonna reveal the link of that image, and then I'm just gonna copy it and then go back to here. And then what I want to show you is the alt attribute in terms of what it does. So I'm just gonna say sun image. It's like you have given it a title, like whenever the image is not available. So as you can see, it shows that the image is not available, but the name of the image is sun image. But if I can just put our URL here, which is the one that I took on the browser, if you can see, and then as you can see, our image is actually there. And then I'm gonna show you the other way in terms of how to link an image. So I'm just gonna say save image. I'm just gonna save it locally, so that maybe let's just say you've got an image locally, all the images are locally, and then not online. I'm just gonna go to the document and then go to the tutorials, and then I'm just gonna say image, and then I'm just gonna paste it here, right? And then let's go back there, and then as you can see, it downloaded, right? And then let's get back to there, and then as you can see, okay, so the image format is not what I was looking for. I'm not sure, should I say copy image, something like that, and then I come here and then we just say paste. Okay, so it's not working. I forgot like how to do this, cause okay, so let me just look for an image locally on my computer. I should have an image there. Okay, so this is the image that I have. So I'm just gonna copy it and then put it on our working directory, and then copy, and then go to documents. Okay, sorry about that. It's tutorials, and then HTML CSS crash course, and then I'm just gonna paste it here, and then I'm just gonna delete this one because it's sort of like another format. And then if I go back there, and then I should have this, and let me just say rename. I'm gonna name it to image, right, so that we don't have the longer text, right? And then we're gonna just remove the source, our source right here. We're gonna remove it, and then we're gonna do what we call a slash to show that, and then we're gonna type the image.png, right? And then we're gonna go to the browser, and then if you can view it, so as you can see, you're seeing a different image. So it's like that. That is how we work with images on our HTML. Okay, list. Why did I have this one? I'm not sure. Things kind of like, okay, so it's list, right? So I'm just gonna comment also this out, right, so that we can have you guys can refer to this. But I'm gonna change the image.png to that image on the browser, and then you can also try to download an image and then put it on your working directory, so that you can just, you know, test. So yeah guys, I've included that for you. That should work, guys. And then okay, so we're working on the list. So for you to have a list, we have a list container that tells us what type of list you are working with. So to show you the first one, it's unorganized list. In short, UL. It's up to you, or you call it UL, but I call it UL. This element, it's sort of like an unorganized list. So it means each and every item that is gonna be there on our container, it's gonna have a dot. It's up to you, but mostly the default, it has a dot, right? So if I can just type like any text there, and then we go to the browser, as you can see, nothing is showing, because UL is just an indication in terms of what list are we working on, right? And then we go to the OL, which is organized list. So this one is organized. It might have numbers. So Also again, if you just type here and then go to the browser, as you can see the text is showing, but we don't get to see like what kind of list we are working on with. So for you to reveal in terms of what list you are working with, you need to have an li, which stands for list element. So that's when we write our text content. So I'm just gonna say text content, right? And then I'm gonna copy this and then do the same, right? And then paste it here, and then I'm gonna paste another one so that you can see that the other one has numbers and then the other one does not have numbers. And then we go to the browser, and then when we view that, as you can see, it's dot dot dot, and then the OL, which is the organized list, it has 1 2 3, right? So those are lists. So that is how we work with list on HTML. I'm not gonna focus mainly on the on styling, because styling, it's all up to you in terms of how you want the layout of the page to be, and then like everything. So what I'm left with, so that you can take another quick break, okay, it's the head. So the head is where we identify our stuff, right? So if we can go back to the browser, so as you can see here, it's written 1.2 something something. So it's writing our own URL here. So let's say just say I've got a bad URL which people can't recognize or get confused. So I can have an element on our head to say this is a title, right? And then I'm just gonna say tutorial. That is what has to be on our head. So as you can see, guys, this changed to what? To a tutorial, right? So whenever you share this link, it's gonna write tutorial at the top. So that is how you work with HTML and then CSS. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna create another, what you call another okay, let me just comment all of this out so that I can be able to create a sort of like a profile for our friend. So we all know Jack, right? Our friend Jack, he's a player, and then he wants to showcase his skills, right? So I'm just gonna remove this to the bottom, right, so that you can have space, right? And then I'm gonna make okay, so the last thing that I want to show you, we've got containers. Containers, you work with them mostly when you want to control the layout of your page. So I'm just gonna show you like when we are working with it. So I'm gonna have a container called title container, right? I've got a title container, and then sorry, our attribute class is uppercase, and then I like to work with lowercase. What did I call it? Title and then container, right? And then this is a container. A div is actually a container that will wrap some type of content inside. So our title should have a heading, right? Heading, and then we need to give it a class name of heading. So we want to call that heading, right? And then we call this what we say okay, check the stealer, check the player. Something, you can generate anything, random name, it's up to you. So as you can see, we've got our check player part. A nice layout will be that the text will be here. So we want to place it here at the center of our screen, right? So for us to do that, I'm just gonna do like multiple ways. Okay, just for the simplicity of this, I'm gonna have a link on our head, right? A link to what? To index our index.css. So if you can go to the browser, it's blue, right? It has been activated because we commented out that link, you remember. So I don't want this to be blue. I actually want this to be maybe like white, so, or black. So I'm just gonna do the star select all the queries, so each and every one has its own styling. So I'll just say color, and then I'm just gonna say black. I want everything to be black. And then the font family, the type of font that I want to use in our so I'm just gonna say sans serif. So if you can go to the browser, check changed, the styling is different now. So as you can see, it's different, it's a little bit better rather than this one, because if you can just view that one, so just so you can see, so as you can see, it was like that. And then if I control Z to bring that back, so as you can see, now what we want to do is we want to target our, let me just share the screen, open to the side, and then close this. All right, and then you want to target the heading, right? When I say heading, we use the dot because we are working with a class attribute. So if we're working with the h1, it will be like if you wanted to target all the h1 to be at the center, we were going to just say h1. And remember, there's the example that I did before. And then I'm just going to say text align. We want to align it to what? To the center. So as you can see, check is at the center of the screen. And then let's just say I have a dot bio, a bio, so I'm just gonna say dot bio. So we are targeting what we call a class. So this is a class, and then I'm just gonna say its width to maybe 80%, and then I'm just gonna say background color is equals to gray, maybe gray, and then the height will be automatic, so it will be generated, and then auto. And then if on the bio I have maybe I want to place an image on the right, so I'm just gonna call this right. You can call it anything, right? You can call it anything. Dot left, so it's kind of like distributing the space equally. So now I've got this, right? And then let me just go to the browser. Okay, so nothing is appearing, right? So let's just type something, right? And then if you go to the browser, as you can see, it's gray, and then but it's not going along to the screen. If we say the width was okay, let me just say it's 90%, you're gonna see that it's gonna increase to 80% of the screen. Now I want this to place this at the center of the screen so that it can be centered and then share equally the space. And then I'm just gonna say margin is equals to auto, and then if you go to the browser, as you can see now it shares the space, right? And then if I want to place the text at the center, I'm just gonna say dot left. So I want each and everything to be at the center, right? And then I'm just gonna say text align center. And then if I want to add another styling, so I'm just gonna say right. And then if we go back, so it's centered, everything is centered. And then what's left is to get an image of Jack the player, right? So so we're gonna get Jack, even though it's a famous football player, but we're gonna rename him Jack because we like Jack. We really appreciate Jack. Yes, so let's say Messi is indeed Jack. So let's just copy this and then we go back there, and then on the left I want it to have an image, right? And then the source, it will be that link that I copied from there. If you go back to the browser, as you can see, here's Jack. And then we want to say the width of these must be 40%, and then also margin must be auto so that it can be aligned at the center. If we can go back to the browser, nothing has changed, but you'll notice that if I say display flex, I want things to be right? If I say display flex, as you can see, now it's here, now it's here. It's like they are sharing the width, and then we make sure that the width must be 40% for each of these containers, these two containers, so that the width of 90% we can share and remain with a space there. So that is how we do it. And then let's just say, yeah, I want to add text, maybe like a subheading, right? Right, and then I'm just gonna say me, and then here, guys, and then we're gonna have a paragraph, and then we're gonna copy the lorem ipsum. So I'm just gonna copy this, then I'm just gonna remove that, and then we go back to the browser, and then as you can see, check the player. He has his own photo and his own text. So as you can see, guys, everything is clear. And then yeah, guys, that is how we work with HTML and then CSS. So yeah, guys, follow me on YouTube, and then just subscribe and then like for more. So guys, see you on the next tutorial. The next tutorial we are gonna go over through JavaScript. So I'm really excited on doing that, because it's not that complicated. It's actually fun, but I could say, although JavaScript is more challenging because you'll have to deal with problems. So yeah, guys, so let's just say I want to add some twist and then everything, you know. The bio, where's the bio? The bio, I can just say border to cut the edges. I'm just gonna say border, and then 30 pixels. As you can see, it's looking more nicer. And then let's just say I want this to sync in with this. Also again on the image, where's the image? So I'm just gonna target the image because it's the only one image. I don't need to add a class. But if there were around maybe 2 images, I would have done only the other one using a class. So I'm just gonna say border radius, and then I'm gonna set it to 30 pixels. So as you can see, guys, it's looking more it's looking much better than that one. So yeah, guys, this is how we do it. And then if you want it to be responsive, let me just inspect. Okay, guys, no problem. I'm gonna do a dedicated tutorial on this one because I'm really tired. It's been long. And yeah, guys, see you on the next tutorial, guys. Peace.